Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is currently wearing 3 turtlenecks. It's Adam Hodgins.
You can never have too many turtlenecks when you're talking about Sweden or sharks or Dolph. There's one. That's why I have one for Sweden, one for sharks, one for Dolph.
Now, can you breathe?
It's labored, but it's a labor of love.
God, I mean, it's worth it, right?
100%.
I mean, if you were wearing 2, you would feel silly.
You know what? 2, I'm just not trying hard enough.
Yeah. So why even try, right?
Exactly.
And 4, I would just be like, come on, man.
Yeah, you're looking for attention at 4.
Yeah. 3, right? No one really notices.
No, so actually, I'm not actually wearing 3 turtlenecks. I'm wearing 2 turtlenecks and a mock neck, so you can see the layers as they go up.
Oh, wow. That's smart.
Yeah, so it's kind of a turtleneck, but it's not.
So there's no point to just wearing 3 turtlenecks because people are just going to see 1 turtleneck.
Exactly. You got to layer it.
Wow.
It's all about, and in 2019, when it comes to fashion, it's not about looking good or looking bad. It's about looking intentional.
Yeah.
This is what I want to look like, and then you're good.
Now, if you're walking with your head down, people are going to notice and feel like you're trying too hard. But I envision you just kind of strutting around.
So when I wear my triple turtlenecks, I only walk around almost prancing, and I have earbuds in, and I'm singing along with Chumbawamba the whole time.
Are you pointing at people, or are you giving thumbs up?
I'm doing the eyebrow pump.
Got it. Because pointing or thumbs up at people might draw too much attention to you.
Right, and it could be viewed as a threat, like that guy's making finger guns at me, what's really going on? But if you just look at somebody and you do the eyebrow pump and you're singing, I get knocked down, but I get back up again on repeat, again and again and again, that's a moment not only will they talk about, but they will enjoy.
You know, once when I was 24 years old, I was walking down the street and there was a man wearing 3 turtlenecks who gave me like the finger guns.
Yeah.
2 of them. And I was frightened for my life.
Right.
So
absolutely. I'm surprised that you're as functional in society as you are today because of that.
I didn't go outside for 2 years.
And that's valid. That's a great time. Mark, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I don't know how we're going to say. I was waiting for a segue, but I'm just going to go for it. We're talking about an objectively good movie today.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you and I love this movie. It's got a big a quick cult following. Some people did not like this movie, one of which being Kim Basinger, which we'll get into later.
And some people think this movie's totally made up.
Well, it's low lying, like it's under the radar because of when it happened and what it is.
Yeah. The release date did not help. No,
it did not help it. But I'll say this: it's objectively good. And so when it comes down to being a good or bad movie, it's really hearsay. And there's criteria that goes into it. And Rotten Tomatoes, I think, was a game changer to be able to say like every review is broken down to either good or bad. And so I think that they kind of cracked the nut in like 2005 when they came out. And so there's objective, some kind of criteria about a good or bad movie, but it's still subjective to who the reviewers are. But did you see Dave Bautista's tweet this week?
Okay, I'll let you say the tweet and then I'll give you my response.
Because he was offered a part in Fast and the Furious 9 and his response was, "No, thank you. I like to make good movies."
That is ridiculous. Because Fast 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now this is all objective, but the tomato meter scores have been fresh, right?
Right.
Each one of them has made close to they've gone up in money, but they've made Fast 7 and 8 made over $1 billion. Furious 6 is a very good action film. Fast 5 is a very good action film. And to tear down the Fast movies, which are one of the few properties out there that have an international cast that you know the crew. You don't have just the stock people in these movies. Does that make sense?
No.
They're not just casting traditional action stars. They have a very diverse cast. The movies are absurd and they know what they are.
Right. Well, and I think that was the groove it needed to find, because when the first movie came out and it blew expectations out of the water, like it was this phenomenon hit.
Yeah.
Everybody in the studio thought it was going to be a Paul Walker vehicle, right?
Yep.
The blonde-haired, blue-eyed American action star. But when they made the sequel with Paul Walker, it went down. It was Vin Diesel was what people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they did Tokyo Drift, was again, like Fast 1, 2, and 3 seemed like very different movies with fast cars in common.
And I love all of them.
Oh, they're all fantastic. So here's the thing. Because Vin Diesel and Paul Walker weren't in Tokyo Drift, I never watched it until this week.
What?
So
Isn't Han awesome in it? Han?
Everybody is awesome in that movie. Everybody. Wait. So I love the first one, like the second one a lot, and then four is actually my favorite, which was not a very common opinion. I get that.
My jaw dropped when you said that.
Yeah, but no. So four was the getting the band back together tour from, and I was like, oh, they've done it. So after 2 and 3, and 3 I didn't see because I was just not interested in it because it was like something different. I felt like I said at the time, like, oh, they're just taking a brand, slapping it on a car movie and letting it be, trying to sell it. I was very, very pretentious about it. But for 4, I was like, they're getting the band back together, and it had that sweet, like, fuel stealing scene at the beginning. Like, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, I feel bad though, because when Han pops up in 4, you didn't get the reaction of, holy crap, that's Han from Tokyo Drift.
I didn't. Actually, watching Tokyo Drift, I got the holy crap, that's Han from Fast 4. But no, Tokyo Drift was like dynamite. So name me another franchise, Mark, that has 8 movies and a spin-off that have made as much money as Fast and the Furious.
Well, I guess Mission Impossible is on 6, and 6. They're getting better. Then you have, I guess, the Star Wars franchises, which are spinning off with prequels. But
I would say this though,
they're much more maligned.
But I would say Fast and the Furious movie have been more consistently well received than Star Wars movies.
Yes, I think the complaints to praise scale. So I think what the Fast movies have going for them is that everyone knows what they're getting with the Fast movie. So they can be absurd, they can be silly, they can be, they can walk away from head-on collisions, they can have kegs of Belgian beer and buckets of Corona on ice, and it makes sense. So it's everyone knows what they're getting, and they're getting good. Lately they've been good Fast movies.
So I just dropped my wife and kids off at summer camp. They're going to be there for my wife's working there, and she's running the dining hall. My kids are going to be at summer camp for 8 weeks. They're going to just have a ball. They do it every year. They love it. Before they went, as I'm staying home to work, we went out to the movies to celebrate, and we went and saw Men in Black International, which was kind of adorable.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's nice. And we saw the trailer in Shaw. So my son, who's 10, hasn't seen any of the Fast movies yet because he's just on that cusp of being able to get what's going on in them. He was like, Dad, what is that movie? Like, what did I just watch when he saw the trailer? I'm like, well, son, that's a movie called Hobbs and Shaw. It's these characters from another movie called Fast and the Furious. And he's like, well, do we have like those movies? Like that movie Fast and the Furious, do we have the first one? I said, son, it's not the first one. I said, there's 8 of them. And he said, can I not go to camp and just stay home and watch all 8 of those movies, please?
I have a new best friend.
He was just like, I need to watch this movie. And he's like, The Rock and Roman Reigns are in a movie together, Dad. This is a movie. Like the trailer was so bananas. But again, the trailer gets you action. It gets you humor. It gets you, that nostalgic feeling. It gets you a little pumped up for it. It does everything the Fast movies do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's all about expectations. You don't go into the Fast movies expecting to go on like an emotional journey, but then when they take you on one, you're like, what is happening?
I'm with you. I almost cried at the end of 6 when Giselle, played by Gal Gadot, sacrifices herself for Sung Kang.
Yeah, and the farewell they did to Paul Walker.
Oh man.
Maybe perfection, maybe.
I still don't I like Jason Statham a lot, and I like that he's become Uncle Statham in these movies, like in Fate of the Furious, but he killed Han.
He did kill Han. But he didn't know Han. He killed a guy.
But he killed Han.
No, I know.
And now the family is just, whatever, man. Like, we'll accept you.
Yeah, it's La Familia. Yeah, so, but here's the thing. My question for you, Mark, is, after that tweet, should Batista be allowed to act in Hollywood anymore ever?
No. Now, his next movie coming out is Stuber, and he did a movie called Final Score, which is Die Hard in a soccer rink, just a cheapo. He's done, other movies where it's like a POV where he's walking around the street during an attack. He was just in Escape Plan 2 and 3, which are subpar movies. So for him, It's really weird to be like, all right, so you and I are both in jail, right?
Yeah.
And I went to jail for corporate espionage, right?
I'm with you.
and you went to jail for corporate espionage. And the person next to us was like, hey guys, like, what do you think about this guy? Like, oh, well, we don't like him because he, I don't do corporate horrible example. Terrible example. But it's like, I'm going to delete that. No, I'm going to keep it because we all fail sometimes, and we got to be human, like the Fast movies have shown. Actually, they're not human anymore. They're superhuman. But
literally Black Superman.
Yeah, it makes no sense to say that when you've been in bad movies currently that are just coming out, to say that you don't want to be in a bad movie that make over $1 billion and bring in Judi Dench and Charlize Theron, big name actors, Jason Statham. I mean, John Cena's in a new one. These are not bad movies.
If we're looking at wrestlers who have gone to Hollywood to be actors, when The Rock took that and did it well for the first time ever, like, there was moments where
Wait, what about Roddy Piper and They Live?
So again, there was moments where actors.
Oh, got it. There's like blips on the radar, and then
like Terry Funk in Roadhouse was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Right? But The Rock did it, and now he's maybe the biggest actor in the world.
Yeah, at least action star, right?
Right? Well, he got the Lifetime Achievement Award like last week.
MTV?
The People's Choice Awards.
Nice.
And so he's in these movies, but Batista, you're too good for it. I was just like, oh my goodness. I never super liked that guy. I don't know what it was. And then he did Drax, and he killed it as Drax. But again, I think Drax is like a lot of dry prop humor. And he thinks he's like, I felt like, who do you think you are, sir? I got very, very celebrity upset with him.
And John Cena is in Fast 9, and John Cena just crushed it in Bumblebee, and he was in Blockers, and he's Trainwreck. He's proven himself to be a good actor as well. A big property. Movies want him. So I don't get it. You know what it is though? I think it could be like a Vin Diesel thing because, Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel won't be on the screen together. In Fast 8, you will never see them on screen. They don't like each other. So maybe it's like he sided with Johnson, and so he's anti-Diesel. I think there could be an agenda to it.
Maybe.
He's just getting his boy, Dwayne's back.
Yeah, but I don't think the way to do that is to be like,
those movies suck.
Your movies are bad.
Yeah, you're right. They're not bad. They're very good.
No, they are good. Financially, enjoyably, like they're good. And so I just don't think, I think that should be his blackball moment.
He's out. He's gone.
Mm-hmm. You don't do that crap.
So you want to get into this totally, some may say made up, completely, never happened movie that did happen? Maybe?
Yeah. No, it's just one of those things. This is the Roger Corman Fantastic Four shark movie.
Yep.
Right? That it's like rumored about, and there's like bootleg copies of it everywhere, and you just, that's where we're at with this movie. But I say it's objectively good watching it.
I mean, so Sharks in Sweden, right? So right now it has a 47% Rotten Tomato score, which is respectable for this ilk of action film.
Right.
Because you think about 92, right? They released like Universal Soldier, Rapid Fire, Under Siege. I mean, of course, T2 came out, and that was huge. But
I'd say T2 wasn't an action movie. T2 is a science fiction blockbuster.
There it is. It's not the true. So this is an action movie. This is, yeah, it's not like, also this year, Passenger 57 came out. But also, they were killing it over in Hong Kong, Super Cop and Hard Boiled. And then there were some disappointments, Batman Returns and Alien 3. And I think the release date of this movie is the reason why it only made a respectable $53 million worldwide on a $35 million budget.
Right. And
there was some fatigue.
In 92, not only was it like a weird time for action movies, again, it was one of those transition years where like they were using special effects, but they weren't good at special effects yet. So it was like when you saw a VFX shot, like the screen came to a halt, and then it's